Okay, so our next topic is how to name polyatomics, meaning more than one anion, or the negative portion. So first I'm going to walk you through the rules, and then I'll probably stop and then do another video on the exceptions. So let's start with, I just have the periodic table here for reference. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the all things come in two parts. So you've got the cation part, and then you've got the anion part. Okay, so if we had something like sodium chloride, sodium chloride is Na 1 plus charge Cl 1 minus. Okay, good, we got that. So the ending changes to IDE. But what if we saw something like this, where it was NaClO3? Okay? Now the ClO3's got a -1 charge, the Na's got a +1 charge. Now, how do I know that the ClO3 has a -1 charge? You look that up on your you looked that up on the internet, or you looked that up on your Appendix A that I'll be handing out. Okay, so first of all, you name the Na, and the Na is sodium. Okay, you can think of the cation as the metal part, and the anion as the non-metal part. Okay, so ClO3. Now we've got oxygen involved. This is called a polyatomic ion because it contains more than one atom. So if it contains three oxygens, you change the ending to 8. So we've got chlorine, but then we change the ending to 8, chlorate. So NaClO3 is sodium chlorate. Now how about this one? The charge stays the same. Oh, and I was going to say the charge follows the same charge as a group. I said you can look it up, but also you can look over here and what column is chlorine in? Chlorine is in the 1- column. So that means chlorate is going to have the same charge as the chlorine. Alright, so now if it contains one less oxygen, then you change the ending to ite. So the name of this would be sodium. Then we got chlorine, but we change the ending to ite, sodium chloride. How about this one? Sodium's got a 1+ charge. Why does sodium have a 1+ charge? Because it's in the +1 column. And the ClO has the same charge as chlorine because it's in the -1 column. So we name the sodium. Now it has 2 less. If it has 2 less oxygens, you're going to change the ending to hypo and ite. So it becomes hypochlorite. Okay? And then the last one, Na1+, ClO4. Now it's got one extra oxygen. So name the Na, sodium. It's got one extra oxygen. So it wants 3, but it's got 4. So one extra oxygen, you're going to change the ending to per and 8. So that it becomes perchlorate. Okay? Now, again, you can look at all these names. You can find all the polyatomic names on Appendix A, but I think it's very helpful to know the rules behind naming it. So you always can look it up, but I want to make sure that you know the rules. Okay? So let's just do a few here and see how it works. So suppose you had okay, you're always looking at the number that's inside the parentheses. You don't care about the number outside the parentheses. So you would name the Mg, which is magnesium. Now BrO3. So if it's got 3 oxygens, you change the ending to 8. So it would be magnesium bromate. What if it was this? Again, you're always looking at the number on the inside of the parentheses. 1 less would be bromite. All right. Like I said, everything follows the same charge as their group. Okay? Not sure what happened right there. Okay. Let's try going the other way from name to formula. So suppose you had this one. Aluminum iodate. Okay. The ending tells me it's going to have 3 oxygens. Then I write the charge. Now, how do I know the charge? Well, iodine is in the -1 column. So that means the iodite's going to have a -1. Aluminum is in the +3 column. So it's good to have those things memorized. So the aluminum is going to have a +3, the iodate's going to have a -1. So you never change what's inside the parentheses, okay? And then you crisscross to balance it, okay? So when I mean crisscross, I'm going to take the 1, put it here, I'm going to take the 3, put it there. So then my formula becomes Al1 IO3 3, except we never write the number 1, so that's what we end up with as our formula. Okay, let's try maybe, let's try another one. iron 3 hypoiodite. Well, the Roman numeral here tells me that it's going to be a 3 plus on the iron. Hypo and ite means it's got 2 less oxygen than what it wants. So iodine wants 3, but it ends up with 1, 2 less. It follows the same charge as its column, and now we crisscross. -1, the 1 goes there. You don't bring the minus sign, you just bring the, and the 3 goes there. So then our formula becomes, okay, now this is where it's, tricky. Remember, you're always going off by the number inside the parentheses. So how many oxygens are inside the parentheses? Just 1. That's why it's hypoite, okay? You don't look at the number outside of the parentheses. So look at the difference between this formula and this formula, okay? Here there's a 3 on the inside, here there's a 3 on the outside, and that's why the top one here is aluminum iodate, and this one down here is hypoiodate. Right? So that's the basics on polyatomics. In the next video we'll go through the exceptions.